Send me $2,100 for prom. Mom says you've got enough. My sister's kid messaged me. I answered, earn it. Minutes later, my sister wrote, pay or you're cut off. That night, I stopped their mortgage autopay. By 8:05, I had 63 missed calls. My name is Owen. I'm 31. In my family, I'm the reliable one. The quiet middle kid who shows up early, fixes the router, and remembers the Wi-Fi password when everyone else forgets. Not the favorite, not the disaster. Just the guy in the background holding the whole set together with tape and reminders. I do IT for a hospital. I like lists, budgets, and routines. I make coffee at 6:10, get to work by 7:40, answer tickets, come home to a calm apartment with plants that somehow survive me. I don't drink much. I don't post much. I'm the person people call when they need something boring handled. That became my identity years ago. Free labor in a family that runs on favors they never call favors. Growing up, my older sister, Jenna, was the golden one. Homecoming queen. Fast at making friends. Faster at making messes other people cleaned up. Our mom adored her. Jenna's got a bright future. She just needs a little help. A little help was always a lot of help. My younger brother, Max, learned early to keep his head down. I learned to pay for things without making noise. I wasn't always the walking wallet. It started small. 18 and working nights at a grocery store while Jenna found herself. She'd borrow 50 and send a heart emoji as a receipt. Mom would say, you know your sister. She'll pay you back when her life calms down. Her life never calmed down. The requests got bigger. Car insurance, a deposit, a missed phone bill. There was always a reason and a promise, and then a silence long enough to make arguing feel petty. Dad died when I was 24. After the funeral, Mom pulled me into the hallway by the laundry room. I can't do this alone, she said, not crying so much as performing sad. We'll figure it out together. I nodded. We turned into me fast. By 26, I was paying small things quietly. By 28, I was paying big things with my name attached. I told myself I was preventing chaos. I told myself I was the only adult in the room. The truth was simpler. I didn't want to be yelled at. Last month, Jenna's daughter, my niece, Chloe, turned 17. She's smart and funny, and sometimes too much like her mother. I buy her books. I fix her laptop. I try not to be the lecture guy. I want to be the safe one. The one who shows up and doesn't make her feel like a burden. My story doesn't start with a dramatic betrayal or a surprise while reading. It starts on an ordinary Tuesday night in my kitchen, with my phone lighting up while I was stirring pasta. Max had just texted me a photo of his cat sleeping like a croissant. I was smiling at that when a new message slid in from an unknown number that wasn't unknown at all. Hey Uncle O, can you send me $2,100 for prom? I stared. I blinked. I read it again. $2,100. For prom. Another message. Mom said you have enough. Hair, dress, nails, everything. I can pay back once I start my summer job FR. My stomach went weirdly light, like missing a step in the dark. I wasn't angry yet. I was tired in a way that hummed behind my eyes. Then Mom called. I let it ring twice and answered. Her voice came warm and practiced. Owen, honey, Chloe reached out. I told her to. You've got enough right now, and this is special. Senior prom is once in a lifetime. Don't be difficult. Did you tell her to text me? I asked. I told her family helps family, she said. I expect you to do the right thing. In the background, I could hear Jenna laughing, the clink of ice in a glass. Someone said, he'll do it. That was the first trigger. Not the number, not the dress. The assumption. The way you've got enough turned my life into a communal wallet. I put the spoon down and looked at the clean lines of my kitchen, the bills neatly clipped on the fridge, the calendar with boxes checked off. All the quiet order I'd built so they couldn't drag me under. I didn't answer Mom. I said I'd call back. I didn't. I stood there until the pasta went mushy. Thinking about every time you've got enough had meant we are entitled to it. When my phone buzzed again, it wasn't Mom. It was Chloe. Please. A photo of a dress she liked. Then, before I could reply, a new message appeared with Jenna's name. We need the money tonight. Don't make this a thing. Something in my chest clicked. Not a snap. A click. Like a lock turning. I learned to carry other people's weight early. When Dad got sick, Mom asked me to build a spreadsheet to track medications and bills. You're good with numbers, she said. What she meant was, you can be in charge. I didn't mind helping. I minded that help became duty and duty became debt. In our house, love sounded like invoices. After Dad passed, the mortgage became the dragon in the corner. We're a little behind, Mom said, which meant months. The bank started sending letters. Jenna cried on the porch. Max avoided the kitchen entirely. I picked up a second contract on top of my job, started doing freelance server cleanups at night. When the bank threatened to accelerate, I did the paperwork to refinance, then put their new mortgage on autopay from my account temporarily until Mom's finances stabilized. Just 6 months, she said. You'll barely notice. I noticed. You always notice a second rent. But I let it happen. Because every family dinner came with a speech about sacrifice. Because every time I hesitated, Mom would tilt her head like I'd failed a test I didn't know I was taking. Because Jenna would send, "You're a lifesaver," followed by a selfie with Chloe and a heart filter. Because Max would text, "You okay?" and I'd lie back, "Yeah." The list grew. Phone plans. A blown transmission. 2 emergency room copays. A week of groceries that somehow included designer candles. My credit score climbed because I never missed. Their expectations climbed faster. I remember the first time I said no. Jenna had accidentally overdrawn her account by $380 buying festival tickets. She called me at work, crying. "They're going to charge me fees, and then more fees, and I'll drown." "You can return the tickets," I said. Silence. "Then, you're really going to doom my summer over $300. I caved. I felt guilty for a week, and then the guilt calcified into something uglier. Resentment I tried to scrub with logic. "It's just this once," I told myself. "I don't want to listen to Mom call me cold." The problem with being dependable is that people stop seeing you as a person. You become an ATM with a familiar face, a ride that runs even when the meter's off. At 29, I paid off the last of my own student loans. I thought that would feel like air. Instead, it felt like a sign flashing over my head. Available funds. Mom's language shifted. "Since you're debt-free," she'd begin, and I'd brace. I tried to set small boundaries. I took Mom off my Amazon account. I refused to co-sign Jenna's second car. I told Chloe she could text me for school stuff, but not for her mom's bills. Those lines lasted until the next emergency, then blurred in the usual fog of guilt and only you can help. One night last year, Max called me from a parking lot, whispering. "They're fighting again," he said. "Mom told Jenna she has to start acting like an adult. Jenna said she is acting like an adult because she asks you instead of strangers." He laughed, but there wasn't any humor in it. You know what Mom told her? "What?" "Owen has enough." I sat in my car outside my apartment and felt my jaw lock. Not anger. Something flatter. Like when a program freezes and you don't bother trying to click. You just sit and wait for it to crash. I started adding up numbers in my notes app. 12 months of mortgage payments. Utilities. Medical. Randoms. The total made my stomach flip. I scrolled backward. 5 years. A second total. I stared at it until the digits stopped meaning anything. If it had been a friend, I would have called that friend exploited. Because it was my family, I called it love. There were small humiliations that hurt more than the big checks. Mom would post photos of family dinners I'd paid for with captions like, "Blessed," and never tag me. Jenna would roll up late in a rideshare and joke, "Our family CFO is here," and everyone would laugh. When I got my own new car, a sensible hybrid I saved for, Mom said, "Wow, luxury." Like she was already spending it in her head. Max tried, in his way. He'd Venmo me $20 with a note like, "For putting up with us." He'd say, "You know you don't have to, right?" And I'd say, "I know," and then keep doing it. He kept his head down because that's how he survived. I kept my head down because it's hard to lift it when you're carrying 4 other heads. Boundaries. My coworker Maya said once, after I told her a sanitized version. "Say the word out loud." "Boundaries," I said. Louder. I couldn't make my voice rise. So when Chloe's text came, $2, 100 for prom, hair, nails, dress, limo, shoes, everything. It wasn't just about a dress. It was about how quickly everyone reached for me without looking at me. It was about the way Mom said, "You've got enough," like she was reading my bank app over my shoulder. It was about how they trained me to believe love was measured in transfers. My phone kept buzzing that Tuesday. Chloe again. "Aunt Tessa's girl spent $3K last year. I don't want to be the only one looking cheap." A prom mood board followed. Spray tan, rhinestone clutch, makeup trial, photographer. Then Jenna. We need the money tonight. Prices go up tomorrow. Then Mom, don't make this difficult, Owen. Don't embarrass your niece. You of all people know what it's like to be invisible. Invisible. That word landed like a cold coin. Funny thing about invisibility, you can see everything while no one sees you. I typed, erased. My thumbs hovered. In the end, I sent Chloe 4 words. Earn it, kiddo. Oh. She replied with a string of question marks. Jenna followed with a paragraph. I told her you'd pay. Pay or you're cut off. Don't play games with my daughter. Cut off. From what? The privilege of covering their life? I put the phone face down and listened to water running in the sink. The apartment was quiet in that way that makes you aware of your own breathing. I could hear the neighbor's TV through the wall, a sitcom laugh track repeating every 20 seconds. It felt obscene. Family group chat, 7:22 p.m. Jenna. Since Owen wants to humiliate Chloe, everyone can see who he really is. Owen, call me. Max. Maybe we can talk. Jenna. Stay out of it, Max. Me. To Jenna privately. I'm not paying $2,100 for prom. Jenna. You're rich. Stop acting poor. Me. I'm not rich. I'm responsible. Jenna. Same thing. Send it. Me. No. She called. I let it go to voicemail. Then Mom called. Then Chloe. Then Mom again. At 7:54, Mom texted, if you don't want to help Chloe, that's your choice. But actions have consequences. Don't forget whose name is on certain things. I stared at that message a long time. My name was on their mortgage autopay. My name was on the emergency card Chloe used for books. My name was on the stupid Hulu account that everyone fought over like it was gold. I'd done all of that on purpose once, because I thought control would make me feel safe. It didn't. It made me responsible for messes I didn't create. At 8:11, Jenna again. Pay or you're cut off. I typed, from what? 3 dots. No answer. An hour later, Mom called and I answered. She skipped hello. You're being cruel, she said. You're punishing Chloe for my choices. Don't use a child to make a point. I'm not punishing anyone, I said. I'm stopping. Stopping what? Her voice sharpened. Everything. I said, calm like laying a card on a table. I'm done being your bank. I'm done being your backup plan. I'm done paying a mortgage on a house I don't live in while being told you've got enough. You promised your father you'd take care of us, she snapped. I promised I'd help, I said. I did. For years. I took a breath. This isn't about revenge. This is about closure. Silence. I could hear her breathing. I could hear ice shift in a glass. I could hear my heartbeat in my ear. You will regret this, she said finally, each word clipped. I already regret not doing it sooner. I hung up. Then I logged into my bank. I opened the autopay dashboard I'd set up 3 years earlier, the one with their mortgage circled like a planet I orbited. I hovered over the toggle that had always been green. My hands weren't shaking. That surprised me. I thought they would. I clicked it off. A warning popped up. Are you sure? I clicked yes. Then I removed my card from the emergency account Chloe sometimes used, quietly, because she deserved dignity even if her mother didn't. I left the Hulu. Let them keep the sitcom laugh track. I sat in the dark with the glow of the monitor fading and waited for a wave of panic that didn't come. What came instead was a steady quiet, like a fan finally switching off in a room you didn't realize was loud. I slept well for the first time in months. At 8:05 the next morning, my phone showed 63 missed calls. Mom. Jenna. Unknowns. 1 from the bank. 2 from Max. The group chat had 112 messages, most of them variations on answer your phone. I made coffee. I fed the plants. I sat at my small table and opened my notes app. I wrote a list titled, What I Pay for That Isn't Mine. Then I wrote another list titled, What I Choose. At 8:17, Max texted, You okay? Me. Yeah. Max. They're melting down. Me. I know. Max. You really turn off the mortgage? Me. Yes. Max. Proud of you. The thing about stopping is that people who benefited from you moving will try to push you again. They will tell you your brakes are broken. They will tell you stopping is dangerous. They will tell you you've always moved, so moving is love. Wednesday afternoon, Mom showed up at my work. Security called up. Your mother is here, the guard said, tentative, like he'd been handed a bomb. I met her in the lobby. She wore her courtroom face, the one she uses for getting discounts at customer service. We need to talk, she said. We're in a hospital lobby, I said. Talk. She folded her arms. You embarrassed me. The bank called. Do you know how that felt? Like accountability? I said. Like betrayal, she snapped. After everything I've done for you. I kept my voice even. What have you done for me lately that didn't come with a bill? Her mouth opened and closed. She switched tactics. Your niece is devastated. Jenna had to tell her she can't go to prom now. That's not true, I said. She can go. She just can't buy the $500 shoes and the $300 spray tan and the $1,200 dress in one night. She can work. I did. That's cruel. It's reality, I said. And it's a lesson I wish someone had given Jenna sooner. We're family, she said, softer, trying sympathy. Family helps. Family also respects boundaries, I said. You've spent 5 years treating my paycheck like a group project. It isn't. Her eyes narrowed. Fine. If you won't help, don't expect invitations. Don't expect to be part of anything. I expect honesty, I said. I expect gratitude. I expect you to stop telling people Owen has enough, like it's a coupon. I took out a folded sheet of paper from my pocket. I'd printed my list. Here's everything I've paid since Dad died. Mortgage totals. Utilities. Medical. Groceries. Cars. I'm not asking for it back. I'm asking for recognition that it happened. She didn't take the paper. She looked at it like it might bite. You kept track. Of course I kept track, I said. No one else did. She left angry and empty-handed. An hour later, Jenna posted a story. A photo of Chloe's tear-streaked face captioned, "When a grown man ruins your senior year." I didn't engage. I turned off my phone for an hour and stared at a blank wall until the urge to explain myself passed. Max came over that night with takeout. He kicked off his shoes and looked at my plants like they were new. You really did it, he said. I guess, I said. He nodded. I told Mom if she keeps calling you, I'm blocking her for a week. He shrugged. Small boundary. We ate in companionable silence. He asked, You okay being the villain for a while? I've been the villain before, I said. For not smiling enough. For buying a car that wasn't old. For saying no to a second phone line. Villainy seems flexible. He laughed. Chloe texted me, he said. She asked if prom was really off. I told her to ask you about jobs. Chloe did text. What jobs are good? I sent her a list. Weekend shifts at the bookstore. A tutoring center that needed math help. A cafe that tipped well. She didn't answer that night. The next morning, she sent. The bookstore called me back. A beat later. Do you think the red dress is too much? She included a different photo. A cheaper dress, still pretty. I can pay half if you put in for shoes, she wrote. Deal, I said. 50-50. You keep receipts. For the first time in days, I smiled without feeling guilty for it. Mom, meanwhile, escalated. She called my aunt, my grandmother, my dad's best friend. My phone filled with messages that all sounded the same. We're worried about the family. It's just money. You'll regret this when your mother is gone. I replied once, to everyone at once in the group chat. I love you all. I am not discussing my finances with anyone but me. I will not be paying the mortgage. I will not be funding prom. Chloe and I have made an arrangement she agreed to. Please respect that. Future attempts to shame me will result in blocks. Jenna fired back immediately. You're heartless. You like control. You like watching us squirm. I typed and deleted 3 responses, then landed on the only thing that felt true. I like peace, I wrote. And I'm choosing it. 2 days later, the bank sent a late notice to Mom. She forwarded it to me with "Look what you did." I didn't reply. It wasn't my name on the loan. It was my money on the auto pay. Those are different things. On Friday, I met with a therapist for the first time. Maya had slipped me a card months back. Just try one session, she'd said. The therapist's office was quiet, full of plants like mine. I sat on her couch and told her I felt like I'd stepped off a moving treadmill and my legs still thought they were running. She asked, what do you want your life to look like if your family never changes? No one had ever framed it like that. I said calm, honest, mine. She nodded. Then your job isn't to make them change. It's to hold your line. Holding a line is harder than drawing it. The next week, Mom called only 3 times. Jenna called twice. Chloe texted me a photo of a pair of shoes she'd found on sale with the caption, earned. I sent her a thumbs up and, because I'm me, asked for the receipt. Max and I started a habit. Sunday mornings, coffee at my place, phones face down. We talked about stuff that wasn't family. Work. His cat. Shows. The world felt bigger when I wasn't measuring it in emergencies. The first month without the auto pay, Mom posted a vague status. Sometimes the people you raise disappoint you. I didn't take the bait. The second month, she texted, I'm selling the SUV. I replied, that sounds responsible. Responsibility looked different on them. Jenna picked up extra shifts at the bar. She complained loudly. She still found a way to buy a new jacket. People like Jenna always do. But the calls slowed. The demands softened from now to if you can. I answered no to both. At Chloe's prom, she sent me a bathroom mirror selfie, red dress, simple hair, shy smile. Thank you for the ride, she wrote, meaning the shoes, the bookstore tip, the quiet push toward dignity. You did the work, I wrote back. You look great. Be safe. She sent a heart, not the filtered kind. The real gray I message one that means, got it. A month after everything, Mom asked to meet somewhere public. We chose a diner. She arrived with a folder. I arrived with low expectations. I wanted to apologize, she said, and then immediately added, for how you took things. Old habits. I heard the first part, I said. We can stop there. She sighed. You changed. I grew, I said. There's a difference. She slid the folder across. Inside was a budget. Actual numbers. A list of expenses with her handwriting next to each item. The bank helped, she said, almost embarrassed. Max sat with me. I felt something unclench in my shoulders. Good, I said. She looked at me like she was trying to read code. I don't like seeing you as the bad guy, she said. I don't like playing that part, I said. But I won't play the bank anymore. We ate in a strange truce. She tried small talk. I gave small answers. Before we left, she said, Chloe told me you split the shoes. Thank you. Chloe earned them, I said. On the way out, she touched my arm. You're still invited to Sunday dinner, she said. No strings. I'll think about it, I said, and meant it literally. Not as a test, not as a manipulation, just as a choice I could make without a bill attached. Back home, I stood in my quiet kitchen and looked at the calendar. No red due dates for a house I didn't live in. No text overlays asking for just a little. A space where an autopay used to be. It felt like a room after you moved the heavy furniture. The grooves still in the carpet, the air a little different, the floor easier to sweep. I wrote Chloe a recommendation for the bookstore to keep her. I helped Max set up his own budget app. I blocked Jenna for a week when she got nasty, then unblocked her when she sent a 2-line apology that wasn't perfect, but was something. I don't owe anyone my peace. I'm not a villain for choosing it. I'm not invisible. I'm a person who stopped a machine that only ran if I kept feeding it. If there's a moral, it's ordinary. Love isn't measured in dollar amounts, and real help has receipts and respect. I won't fund another adult's emergencies. I won't apologize for boundaries. I won't let you've got enough turn into we get to take it. I still make coffee at 6:10. I still get to work at 7:40. I still come home to plants that are somehow surviving. And when my phone lights up now, it's mostly boring things. Max's cat asleep like a croissant. Chloe's schedule. A photo of shoes with the caption, paid. It's not dramatic. It's better. It's mine.